Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am Tori Lynn. Let's blossom today. I want to do something kind of fun today, something I haven't done before. I haven't seen any other videos on this, but I'm sure somebody else has done this. I just thought it would be fun. Actually, one of my friends recommended it to me. We're gonna do a half face of makeup, and I know that sounds weird, but basically we're gonna be doing like a mask face. I know back when quarantine first started, there were the people doing like wearing your masks and then they would draw like the mouth on the nose and whatever. I have no drawing skill whatsoever, so I'm not doing that. I just literally, we're gonna be doing our makeup from like the mask line up. I guess we also do the outer cheeks. I don't know. I brought in a paper mask, one that I wear at work. These are the masks that they make us wear at work. So brought this in for kind of a little bit of a help with some reference and stuff. One of my friends recommended it to me and I thought, you know what, that would be fun. Like, why not? So let's do it. I've already used my Dr. Brandt Hyaluronic Acid Facial Cream Moisturizer, and of course my new favorite, Fourth Ray Beauty Coconut Face Milk Drops. I've actually really been loving those. I started with that, but then I thought, you know what, let's take it a little bit farther since we're going to be wearing a mask and our eyes are going to be the focus. Let's do a little extra hydration, a little extra something, a little extra attention to the eyes. So I'm going to take my Murad Renewing Eye Cream and pop just a little bit of that under the eyes. I've had this stuff for actually a really long time. There's like barely anything left. But you really don't need a lot of this stuff, so this bottle has lasted me quite a while. Originally got this stuff for the very first time at a FabFitFun, I think. But I really like it. I think it's super hydrating. It makes my eyes feel really nice. I use it a lot when I haven't gotten a good night's sleep and I've got something big going on for the day. I feel like with the mask, kind of the eyes have to be the focus of the look because that's the only thing you can see. So a lot of the times with my makeup looks nowadays, I don't do a whole lot. I don't even really do a full skin. I do just like some concealer and powder and brows and then throw on some lashes, which I have a makeup look on that, so I will link that video. But some days I do a little more of a makeup look, but I feel like wearing that mask, the eyes need to be the center and the focus of the look. So you want your eyes to look fresh and happy and alive and awake. So I think going the extra mile with the skincare around your eyes is a good idea. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So next I'm going to take my Tula Rose Glow and Get It. This is just a cooling eye balm. I didn't realize how much lash glue I still had on my eyes today. I'm going to take that right up under the eye and kind of just the regular triangle situation. And then I like to take a little bit up on the lid as well. I like this stuff because it does have a slight cooling effect. So it makes your eyes feel like awake and alert. Plus it's got that little bit of shimmer that you can kind of see there under the eye, which makes them look more alert and awake. Gives them a little bit of brightness. And then I just take my finger and kind of dab that around. Massage it into the skin. They say your ring finger is the best finger to use for that. It has like the least amount of pressure. And since the skin around your eyes can be a really sensitive skin that you want to be very gentle with, you don't want to tug on it too much, you don't want to push on it too much. You want to be gentle with it. You don't want to increase the aging of the skin around your eyes or something. I don't know. I think we're going to be done with skincare now. So let's go ahead and jump into foundation, I guess. I think I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation, and I use the shade 110 when I haven't been tanning at all. I am like in my full-on winter. I haven't tanned in months. I haven't even self-tanned. Like, I am as pasty can be right now, so I am at like my lightest shade for foundation right now. During the summer months or when I am tanning, I'd like to mix this shade with a darker one, but right now I'm just going to use this shade. Oops. I almost just went right on the cheeks, which I guess technically I need to get the outer portion we decided, right? So I'm just going to go higher up on the cheek and then out on the outer cheek as well. And we are going to do the full nose and the forehead. So really I just don't need to get the chin and mouth area, I guess. Take my beauty blender and just start blending it out. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something. Like, I feel like I have the urge to just start bringing that foundation in, and I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. I was originally thinking that I didn't need to do anything from here down, but with this particular mask anyways, I do. If you have one of the masks that wrapped all the way around, then obviously you wouldn't have to do any of the lower half of your face, but my mask doesn't. I think it would look really weird if I had no makeup, like if it just stopped. I think I need to blend it down, right? Yeah. Very weird experience not dragging the foundation down. Like, I felt like I was fighting the urge to bring that foundation around the mouth. Obviously got some on the upper lip just from trying to completely cover the nose. It just kind of happened that way. And then, like, you could see that I brought it down at the sides of the cheeks. This cheek got covered a little more, but that was because this is the one I started with. This is the one I did second. And then, of course, I brought it down the jawline just a little bit. If you wanted to, you could probably even do a little on the chin if you're like me. You got a double chin, although I usually, especially when wearing the paper masks, always extend them all the way out so it kind of covers my chin a little more. It's the one thing I love about the masks is they cover my double chin a little bit more. I guess the foundation is on. Let's move into concealer. Today I'm choosing a nice brightening concealer. I'm going to use the Benefit of Boing Cakeless Concealer in the shade number 1. This concealer is very brightening, so that's kind of why I chose it. Sometimes we're really going to make my under eyes very bright. Gonna pop. And we don't want our under eyes to look cakey. We don't want them to look creasy. We don't want them to look yucky. So a good concealer is key for the current time. I like to go around the edges of my nose because I have a hard time with the beauty sponge getting in those creases. And also I like to brighten up that area just because it is so dark. Also gonna go down the bridge of the nose because I can usually see a portion of my nose. And I'm gonna stick with the forehead because y'all can still see the forehead. Not gonna go do my smile lines. I'm not gonna do my chin. Ain't gonna do anything on the lower portion of the face. Just gonna take my beauty sponge and buff this stuff out. Because I can't stand to not bake my under eyes. No matter what, I'm going to use my Coty Translucent Airspun Powder. I'm going to bake the edges of my nose and then the top of my nose as well, just like I have been doing pretty much since we've started wearing masks. I feel like this helps prolong the wearing of my makeup. And then I'm going to bring that up the bridge of the nose just a little bit. And then I'm going to bake my forehead creasing for no other reason than I want it to keep it from creasing too terribly much. I've talked about tips and tricks to keep your foundation from getting worn off by the mask quite a bit on my channel. One of the ways I've talked about, of course, is baking your nose. Other ways is wearing matte foundations, wearing matte primers, matte setting sprays, a lot of mattifying products. I can't even remember all the things now, but anyways, I have talked about it, so you can go back and watch some of my videos in the past. We're not going to get into that right now because I just don't want to go down that whole long road. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take care of my brows now. Y'all know I like to use my e.l.f. Instant Lift brow pencil, so I'm going to go ahead and throw my brows on. I'll be right back. Alright, the brows are on. So, let's do the eyes. I hadn't even thought about what I wanted to actually do for the eyes. So what I decided was, let's use the ColourPop's Mandalorian The Child palette. I said I would use the warmer shades in this palette. I used all the green shades to make a look when I tested out this palette, and I didn't really use like the brown shades. I mean, I used this as a crease shade, but I wanted to use these other two brown shades and I didn't. So let's go ahead and do that today. So let's start by putting that palette down and finding a matte creamy shade, because I feel like I want to set everything down and that palette doesn't have one, which sucks. So I'm just going to grab my Tartelette and Bloom palette, and I'm going to use the shade called Charmer. It's just the nice vanilla matte shade, and I'm going to set down my lid. You could use any light creamy shade. I just grabbed this one because this palette was sitting right here. There's no specific rhyme or reason. You don't even have to set your lids down if you don't want to. I just like to because I feel like it sets that product, all that concealer and foundation and stuff in place, and it makes it easier to blend stuff out. Now that that's done, we are going to go into the Baby Yoda palette. Sorry, the Child palette. And we're going to go into the perfect crease shade here called Just Like a Tatooine. It's a nice medium brown. And we're going to pop that right in the crease. If you watched the video where I reviewed this and you saw this glitter shade fall out of the palette on me, I have had such an issue with that shade since then. It made such a mess on my desk. Not gonna lie, I keep a pretty messy desk. My desk is always covered in stuff. I always have products all over my desk. I don't keep a tidy desk. I wish I did. My main issue is I just don't have enough storage for all the products I have. It's a first world problem, I know. I shouldn't really be complaining about that. I am fortunate to have all the products I have. But I always have way too much stuff on the desk, and I have been doing my makeup so many times, set something down and gotten that gold glitter on it because I haven't been able to clean all of it up because I still haven't picked everything up off my desk. Anyways, so I will set something down and will get that glitter on it. I will touch it, then I will touch my face, and I will smear gold glitter in the middle of my skin or on my face or into my foundation or whatever. It has happened so many times. You think I would learn and I would just clean up my messes, but no, I keep doing it. It's been a mess. It's been a pain in my butt. Now let's take that chocolatey cocoa brown called Droid Protocol, and we're just gonna buff that shade right in the outer crease. And I'm just using kind of a smaller brush for this. It's still a fluffier brush, but it's a lot smaller so I can be a little bit more precise about where I put it. And I'm just going to pop it in the outer crease just like so. And then we'll take a blending brush and blend it out. If you want, you could even maybe feather it onto the lid just a little bit. Now we'll take that handy dandy blending brush. I really wanted to say notebook, like in Blue's Clues. I haven't watched Blue's Clues in years, but why my brain wanted me to say handy dandy notebook, I don't know. Anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and give that a good blend. If you guys watch my vlogs, then you know I've been watching Scrubs. Not gonna lie, I binged the crud out of that show. I started it shortly after the new year, like within a week after the new year, like just a few days after the new year, but I finished all 9 seasons of Scrubs in less than a month. Granted, they're only like 20-minute episodes, but I finished the whole thing, guys. It was so good. I binged it. I finished it. I finished the whole thing. It was so good. I'm really sad it's over. To be honest though, I was a little disappointed with the 9th season. They didn't have enough of JD. I mean, granted, I get it. He left. He went to a different hospital. Then they came back. It was in the future. The whole setting was different. I didn't like the new setting. And then it just ended in a weird spot. Did the show get dropped? Did it get canceled in the middle of the season? Like, what happened? Do you guys know what happened with Scrubs at the end? Because there was only like 11 or 12 episodes or something in the last season, and there was normally like 20-some episodes. Somebody please let me know what happened with Scrubs in the last season, because I need to know. The last episode really didn't have a whole lot of closure. It didn't have any more closure than the normal episodes do. Like, every episode kind of comes to a closure of its own episode, and it gives you a little bit of closure for something, but not for the whole show. Like, JD just kind of left, and then, like, you had an episode without him, and then it was like, it's over, it's gone, like, goodbye. I don't know. Was it supposed to end? I don't know. Now I want to go ahead and take that gold shade. It's called The Force. I think it'll be really pretty. I'm going to take my finger. I think that'll be the best way to use this. It is kind of more like a foil shadow. It reminds me a lot of the shadows. Ooh, that's beautiful. In the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. Just like the texture and the style of the shadow itself. And those only really work with the finger. But yeah, I just like, I don't know. I was really disappointed. I didn't even realize it was ending. And then all of a sudden it was like up next. And it was a different show. And I was like, wait, what do you mean up next? Where's the next episode? Why aren't you playing the next episode? And there wasn't another episode. I was really bummed. So please, somebody let me know what happened with Scrubs. But it's okay. I've moved on to a new show. I've started watching Psych, which I had seen chunks of. My mom had watched it in the past, and my aunt and cousins had watched it back in the day. So I had seen chunks of it, but I'd never really watched it. And I weirdly really knew the theme song very well. So I've been watching that, and they're like the 45-minute episodes. So it's taken me, you know, a little more to get through it. I'm not fully binging each episode or each season quite as quickly because I don't go to work until 2 on some days. And my husband doesn't get home till midnight. So there were a lot of days where, you know, I'd get up at like 8:30 or 9, and then I would watch from like 9 while I was doing stuff, but I would watch TV when I'd get up until it was time to get ready for work at like noon. And then I'd get home from work and would basically watch my show or edit in the evening till my husband would get home. And so it was like, there were days where I'd watch a whole season in one day. So, you know, couldn't help myself. It was just good. Like, that's all I wanted to do, which I like shows that are like that. Shows that just grab you and like consume you. Shows like that's all you want to watch. Those are the shows I like. So I'm glad that it was that good. I was happy that it was that good. And I'm really bummed that it's over. And Psych's really good. Not quite as good as Scrubs. Scrubs just like pulled me in. And Psych is really good. I have really been enjoying it. But I miss my Scrubs a little bit. That gold is stunning. I love that shade. I think for an inner corner highlight, I want to go in with the lightest shade called Precious Cargo. And I'm going to pop that right in the inner corner. A lot of times don't do this till later, but I think we're here, so let's just do it. But I'm glad I found a show that I actually enjoy right afterwards. Sometimes when you watch a show and you like, you know, binge it and then you end up in that show hole afterwards and you don't know what to watch, you can't find anything that like compares to it. And there's been times where I've started like 3 or 4 shows after I finished that one show and just like nothing compares and I can't watch anything afterwards. That's how I was after we watched Game of Thrones. I started so many shows and couldn't find anything to watch. And since then I've gone back and watched some of those shows and they were good, but it was like at the time nothing compared and I just couldn't get into them, you know? Let's go ahead and sweep away that excess baking and any of that gold fallout. Alright, this is going to be the weird part again. I'm not going to have to set my lower portion of my face. I'm going to go and use my Too Faced Born This Way multi-use complexion powder in the shade Porcelain. I'm just going to set those under eyes And the nose. Basically, I'm just gonna set everywhere we put foundation. Today for bronzer, I'm gonna take my NARS Diffused Bronzer. And I don't really think I'm gonna do a whole lot on the cheeks. Maybe just a little bit on the upper portion of the cheekbones. And then up on the temples, but I'm not really gonna work on carving out those cheekbones a whole lot. I'm just gonna mostly work it around the temple area here and then up onto the forehead. Like, I don't really see the point in really working on the cheekbones if it's gonna be mostly covered up, you know? I am gonna go and contour my nose on the sides just a little bit, just because it's something I feel like I have to do. I'm not gonna focus so much on the bottom of the nose, down at the tip. Mostly just gonna be focusing down the sides, down that bridge of the nose. But I will still do the tip because I want to make the nose complete. Now for highlights, I'm going to go back into one of my old faves. This is the Mary Luminizer from the Balm. I'm just not going to go real carried away with the highlight. You will still be able to see my cheekbones. That's why we're definitely still doing a highlight. Oh gosh, I forgot how much I love this highlight though. I haven't worn this highlight in quite a while. Oh, she's pretty. Anyways, we're still gonna go pretty good on the forehead, bring it around the temples. But as far as the cheekbones go, mostly focusing up on the higher portion of the cheekbone, not so much down on the lower half, just right up under the corner of the eye and then around the temple area, because that's where I'm gonna be able to see it the most. I think once we get that mask on, you won't really be able to see it down in this lower cheek area, just as with the bronzer. And then on the nose, I will do a little on the end, but mostly I'm just gonna do it on the upper portion of the nose, between the brow, and then down the bridge a bit. So a nice glowy upper portion of the face there, which I have been loving. I know it's not usually something I do in the winter, but I have just something about that Pat McGrath highlight is like sparked this love of glowy skin in the winter for me. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Blush is gonna be pretty hidden. You're not gonna be able to see a lot of blush. I'm just gonna take this real pretty pink blush. This actually is called Shy Pink, and this is from Burt's Bees. And we're gonna pop that, again, kind of on the higher portion of the cheeks. You can work it down on the apples of the cheeks if you like. That blush is a very pink blush, but I like it. Now I'm gonna take my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set and give everything a nice good spritz down to just melt that into the skin. This look needs some lashes, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw some lashes on and I will be right back. Okay. So now that I have my lashes on, I want to do one last thing to make those under eyes really pop, to make them feel bright and awake. I'm gonna take a brightening powder. This is just a chisel brush here. And I'm gonna put it right up under those eyes and just pop that bright shade. Essentially it's like a banana powder or whatever. This one's called Pink Porcelain. And it just made those under eyes a little bit brighter, a little bit whiter. I think this eye look looks really pretty. I am in love with that gold shade. Like, it's so gold and shimmery and stunning. Kind of want to just like do a look where that's just like the only thing I put on my eye. I think it would be really pretty. Pretty much this look is done because we're not going to do a lip. So what I am going to do for my lips though is I'm going to take my favorite lip mask or lip balm or whatever is your favorite. I'm going to take a lip mask. I am in love with the I Do Care Plush Party Vitamin C Lip Mask. I've talked about this stuff a lot on my channel. You can pick this up at Ulta. It comes with a little spatula. You just scrape a little bit out. Like, you need very little. Like, that's all the more product I will use right there. And then I just work that around on my lips. On that little bit. Coated my entire lips. All my lips there. And now they're nice and soft. and they will be hydrated under my mask, and this stuff won't stick to my mask. It won't smear around on my face. It won't get on my mask and transfer, you know, it won't do any of that. It'll just keep my lips hydrated and happy and healthy. I don't know what it is, but I feel like when I wear my mask, my mouth gets really dry, my throat gets really dry, and my lips get really dry and chapped. So keeping a lip balm, I always have a lip balm or chapstick in my purse, and I always have something really hydrating on my lips when I leave the house. And this is usually what I put on. Either put on this, or I have a tinted lip balm that I put on. If I just go back and forth between the two, and this is what I chose to put on today. The other day I used that Wish Vanilla Bean lip scrub that I got in my FabFitFun, and then I put this on afterwards. Oh my gosh, my lips felt so stinking amazing and soft afterwards. I put lip liner on after. I did it before I did my makeup, and it was just like gliding on butter. It felt so good. I really love this lip mask though. I actually recently gave it to a friend for her birthday, and she texted me a few days later and she's like, I'm obsessed with that I Do Care stuff you gave me. And I was like, yeah, I know, I love it so much. That lip mask is like my all-time favorite. So this is it. This is the look. Let's put our mask on and see. Let's put it on and see what I think. Yeah, you wouldn't even know that underneath I look like this. Like, look at my chin. Look at this red splotchy line we've got going on. This side doesn't look so bad. I actually think it blended a little more. This side, like, you could straight up see the line. The blush, I feel like blended it in because that's just how freaking red my skin is in some spots. But I feel like it looks pretty funky. It's like from the upper lip up looks good, and then you hit my chin and it's like, what's going on? But put that mask on, and you'd never know. Everything looks normal. Everything looks fine. Oh! Anyways, I hope you guys will like this video. I thought it would just be something fun to do. So if you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.